Welcome back. Just before the break, we were talking about the cultural impact on society, and our distinguished guest mentioned the Mao Zedong's famous cultural revolution in China and how it changed the entire nation. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was just telling that impact of that is the importance of culture, cultural revolution. Without cultural revolution, you cannot sustain your political views, ideological views, even religious views. Islam cannot, as for example, Islam cannot sustain its belief until and unless we bring a cultural revolution.
Right.
Islamic cultural revolution. So what did Prophet ﷺ and the companions? They brought a cultural revolution in the Arab societies.
Right.
Arab society. In other societies where the Islam went, but the Muslims failed to bring a cultural revolution. They are the Muslim women half-made, I should say, half-made. It's a half Muslim, half is a local, influenced by the local culture, absorbed by the local culture. They could not integrate with the total Muslimness, I should say, total Islam. Because the cultural revolution didn't take place. So many places where especially Islam didn't go through the Arab Muslims. Where the Islam went through the Arab Muslims, then Islam could brought a cultural revolution. But where the Islam went through the other conquerors like Turkish or Iranians or Afghans or other peoples, conversion took place, but full cultural revolution didn't come. As for example, Indian subcontinent. Many of the Hindu cultures, you see, continue to work in the Muslim fabrics. You see, so total Islamization didn't take place.
They influence each other. Muslim culture influenced the Hindus, and the Hindu culture influenced the Muslims. You see, so because if you see that the shrines of these famous awliyas and this and that, you see, they are frequented by the Hindus. I've seen it, and obviously. The celebration of Diwali and Shab-e Barat and all that in good old days was like a common celebration, you see. Hindus would do that and Muslims would do that, you see. So that was probably a peaceful acceptance of others' culture.
No, actually not like that. I should say, I see it in other way actually. You see, due to lack of full Islamization.
Right.
You see, we shared also some Hindu cultures.
Right.
Muslims used to visit their Hindu festivals
because perhaps we were converts, so
actually total full conversion, total ideological conversion. It needs ideological conversion and cultural conversion must go together. Must go together. Otherwise, what happens? Muslim became half Muslim. In fact, I should say, right. Culturally it become not totally. We say. I should say that what happened in Arabia at that time, you see, that happened. Suppose I just give an example. Western people, they tried, when they colonized our country, like Indian subcontinent, thousands of missionaries went there.
Right.
To convert them in terms of religion.
Yes.
They got good success in many countries like South Africa, Uganda, Nigeria, or other countries, but they couldn't get that success in Indian subcontinent. But they got great success in other terms, like cultural conversions. You see, cultural conversion. You see, people took
the English language.
Not only English language, even the English culture and other things. So our culture became contaminated. It is called cultural contamination with the other, those who are the occupying forces.
Right.
Occupying forces. Those are political occupation. They can influence those who are the subjects, political subjects. That is the problem. So in Islam, it is so crucial to defend your country. If your country, if you can't defend your country, then you have to accept the cultural dominance of your occupying forces. That happened, in fact. This is called cultural conversion. So they succeeded in cultural conversion, but not in religious conversion. But that cultural conversion is doing the same harm as the religious conversion. Those who are fighting against, suppose Islam, full implementation of Islam, who are these people? Islam is now half practiced in our country. We live without Islam's obligatory prescription like Sharia, Hudud, you see, all that shura, everything is gone in the Muslim country. Why? Because of this cultural dominance, cultural conversion of our Muslims, politicians,
Right.
intellectuals, all these people. They have now become a barrier.
But we have a different form of government, isn't it? We have a different system in our own countries. So we, and sometimes the Sharia is not compatible, as they say, according to law. I mean, this is what, I'm not my saying, this is what it's not compatible with their own laws, you see. So the laws that were implemented long time ago, 200, 300 years ago, see.
Exactly. Sharia is totally incompatible with the Western culture,
Yeah.
Western values, Western ideologies. Since our political leaders, they are the ideological convert, cultural convert towards the Western ideologies, they are incompatible with Sharia. But Islam is compatible. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has didn't mention that Sharia is only for the time of prophethood. But see, before colonization, all the Muslim countries had Sharia. Even in Bengal, when Nawab Shirazuddaulah was the ruler, or in Mughal, or in any country, Malaysia, Indonesia, wherever Muslims had rule, every single country was ruled by Sharia.
Right.
Only when the Europeans went there, they totally disbanded
Right.
all this.
That is the importance of religion, isn't
Exactly.
it? See, now in today's world we live, see, and in our daily life we are influenced by other cultures, isn't it? See?
Exactly.
I'm not talking about just religious belief, but in our eating habits, in our manners, in our thought. There was a time when, you remember that MTV, there was a music, TV, see, MTV culture, see. And then came this very famous drink, American famous drink, soda. That was some culture, see. So that was the influence. A young man dressed in jeans and T-shirt would be drinking that bottle in his hands, you see, and he was considered very smart or emancipated, whether man or woman, see. So that is the influence of some sort of culture. I won't say superior, but some sort of culture, isn't it?
You have raised a very important point actually. What's going on? Look at the global perspective.
Yeah.
You see, those who are the intellectuals, those the Western intellectuals, Western politicians, Western policymakers, they understand people of the whole world cannot be of same faith, singular faith. They will have different faith.
Right.
But they are thinking, but this world can have a singular culture,
Yeah.
and dominated by the Western culture.
Right.
You see, it is a global culture, global village with a global culture. That is Westernization. That is not, you see, this cultural conversion towards Western. You see, so that is this is called, they are doing the cultural engineering.
Right.
Now, you see, World Bank, so UNESCO, or you can say every world bodies, even the UNFP, United Nations Family Planning, all the social UN-sponsored organization. Even the Western countries like America, USA and European states, they are spending hundreds of millions of dollars in Muslim countries to amalgate the people within the Western culture. So suppose in when America occupied Afghanistan, what they did? They opened thousands of schools just to teach them dancing, songs, all these things. You see, why? Because of cultural conversion. They are not going to make Afghan people Christians, but cultural convert to Westernism.
Right.
And the same thing is happening in Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, everywhere.
But the Afghans and Pathans, they have their own dance and songs.
but they are now, they are on, yeah, of course, they are making something different now, with different, you see, conversion.
I wanted to ask you, religion does play a very important role when we talk of culture. See. What is the history of Bangla culture?
Yeah, Bangla culture actually very important point. See, in Bengal, we Muslims and also Hindus, Buddhists, they live together. When Islam came, then Islam brought this Islamic culture also. You see, so if you look at the Bengali literature, you will find the different attitude, different, you say, cultural expression, intellectual expression. As I told you that culture is the expression of inner faith. It's intellectual abilities, intellectual achievement. So, in the making of intellectual exercises, intellectual expression, faith plays a part.
Right.
So if you see that Hindu people, their behavior, their attitude, everything different from us. You see, so we still having different culture: Muslim culture, Muslim Bengali culture, and Hindu culture, Bengali culture, different culture. Even suppose in a book, Sharat Chatterjee,
right,
famous writer,
yeah,
we think that he is very revered man, but he has written in his book that in our village we have a football match between the Bengalis and the Muslim. Why? This is cultural division. We didn't have any division in language.
It was not Mohan Bagan and Mohammedan sporting.
In his book, he has written that in our village we have a football match between the Bengalis and the Muslim. Why? You see, because these Muslims had different Muslim Islamic culture. They didn't get converted to the same.
But we can have such expressions coming from very literary people in every age. In every age, you see, there are biased people. There are people who do want to do some damage through one sentence or two sentences. They are always there.
Yeah, that's true.
Is the culture of West and East Bengal different or similar in some or many ways?
Of course, different. So actually, as I told you, that culture is an expression of faith, expression of attitude, expression of internal feelings.
But it is not just faith, it is beyond faith, isn't it?
There may be heritage, we can say, say heritage,
like, dancing is part of culture, singing is part of culture, and that is not religion.
But religion has influence. Muslims may have some songs, but the songs, the content of the song
like
is different.
Nasheed, the Naat, the Hamd.
In the musical instrument,
Yeah.
because Islam has a prohibition.
Yeah.
Islam also doesn't put any obligation on drawings.
Right.
But the drawing is different.
Yeah.
They will not. There shouldn't be any nudity, any obscenity, and other things. So it puts a bar. So like Islam puts a bar. Suppose as a dress.
Right.
You see, the Muslim dress and the other dress are different. So Muslim women's, the culture, of course, there is a different culture. Suppose in Hindu festivals,
Right.
Hindu festivals. Just I'm giving an example how the cultural difference become manifest, become expressed. The religious faith expressed to the culture. Suppose I was in India. I spent some time in Jaipur. So there's a Diwali festival. I never saw Diwali in Bengal because Bengali Muslims, Bengali Hindu do not have any Diwali festival. I thought that how I should go. I was living in a periphery of the Jaipur city. Then
Right.
I went to Jaipur city, Diwali night. Whole city was huge lighting. Huge. I think millions and millions of dollars they have spent to put lightning. See, lights, everything,
Right.
colorful lights,
Yeah.
everywhere. You see, and then I thought that how much money they have spent. If that money would have gone to the poor people, they have earned a lot of money. You see, hundreds of millions of dollars they have spent.
Okay, sir, on this very light moment, we take a break.
Okay.
Thank you for being with us. We'll be back after this very short break. Thank you.